the board. So tell us about your personal story because it's so powerful on how, you know, because I know so much of what this work is lifting families out of poverty and in many
100%.
cases, right? And so tell us about your story.
So my story begins with, let me just start because when you talk about diversity and inclusion, I am literally the poster child for it. My parents are both immigrants. So my mom is from Denmark. My dad is from Haiti. They got married in the 60s before the civil rights movement. So, needless to say, there was just so many obstacles for just them as human beings existing in the way that they wanted to exist. And so my fast story is that my dad was a serial entrepreneur. And this happens a lot this is something that we see a lot in the immigrant community where
Mm.
people come from different countries with a level of skill. But when they come to the United States, and many times they really have to start over because their degrees or their credentials are not recognized in the United States, or there's different hurdles, and some of those hurdles could be something as simple as language. So in my parents' case, that was very much their situation. So my dad was the typical, he had literally 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet, and he started and failed at a number of businesses until he started the security guard company. And it was in the 80s under the Dinkins administration where he we started hearing about corporate supplier diversity programs. We started learning a little bit more about certification. And the long and the short of it, without going into all of the details, but the certification, once we got certified, we were easily recognizable by federal, city, state, and private entities, private companies that wanted to do business with diverse suppliers. And so when you think about, my dad was the first employee, right, in our security company.
Mhm.
Then, it's like my mom was the bookkeeper, and that's the story for so many small businesses.
Yeah.
So this really is close to my heart. But at the end of the day, what ended up happening, we went from, us being the employees to have over 500 employees. And the beautiful story about that, it wasn't just about us, because by gaining access to some of these really nice contracts, we had contracts with the federal government, we had contracts with large financial institutions, we were doing the Daily Show, like you name it. It gave our employees access to really great jobs, benefits, and other things that just weren't possible. And what it did for us as a family is it created endless possibilities. If you think about, again, non English speaking immigrants coming to the United States, little things like college, healthcare, where you're going to live, is a huge challenge. So for us, it really created endless possibilities. And even today, I still see a lot of the employees that we had hired. And so we ended up hiring a lot of people who were also underserved. Didn't always, have the opportunities. And I'm happy to say I see a lot of these people today in management jobs, or they went on to get jobs with the federal police or doing other things that I believe that we had a key role in helping them. So it goes back to, when I think about the power of supplier diversity programs, when I think about what having access to opportunity really does, it's a ripple effect. And for us, it was a way, um, again, I could not have imagined what our life would have been like without it. So
Yeah,
that's a little.
it's extraordinary. And I know also I mean, given the new administration and given where, I mean, I guess at least the United States is as a country right now, and the focus on how do we invest in Black communities and again close those sort of wealth and those wealth gaps and provide jobs and all the people who have lost jobs. And it's such a critical solution that an area that needs innovation and acceleration. And that's why, again, our collaboration is so exciting in 2021, and just drawing just educating people about this as much as possible. So speaking of education, there's